Region 4, led by the USC Trojans. Obviously, they made it to the Sweet 16. They did a number on UNC Greensboro, 71-75. They got off to a slow start, but they flipped it around. They got it going. JuJu finished with 22, 8, and 3. And then we got to round of 32, and it was a 96-59 win over the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Kiki Arian fit 36 points, 9 boards. But this is where the black cloud has fallen over the women's tournament. JuJu suffered a torn ACL in the first quarter against Mississippi State. It's a dark cloud over it because the face of college basketball has fallen. Y'all heard me talk about JuJu a lot. You heard Cole Johnson come on here talk about JuJu. Cool McCain came on here and talked about JuJu. Megan Price came on here and talked about JuJu. To see her go down the way that she went down, to see her in the pain that she was in, it hurt my heart. I was like, not JuJu. Not JuJu. No. And you can tell the basketball world in general was hurting. It was just like the one player we do not need to lose, we lost to a torn ACL. Now, before I continue on, those of you, and there's a few of y'all out there, coming at Mississippi State the way that y'all coming at, are wrong. You're wrong as hell. Nothing malicious, nothing dirty, nothing happened for JuJu to tell ACL, okay? She stole the ball. She was going to the rim. She got bumped, stepped wrong, and the ACL went. That just plain and simple, y'all. JuJu is my favorite basketball player in this era. JuJu, I am a known USC hater, but I'm putting it to the side because that's how much I love watching JuJu Watkins play. And like I always say, I like Cam Newton saying, we're going to keep it a buck. Mississippi State did nothing wrong. It was an unfortunate event that took place that led to JuJu getting the ACL torn, man. They didn't grab her. They didn't push her. It was a bump to stop her from completing the fast break. That's all it was. And they was side by side. It wasn't like JuJu was in front and somebody pushed her from behind or they tried to trip her. There was one in neck and neck. And you know JuJu is that type of person that she can finish through contact. The ACL just went. It just went. And I hate that. But if anybody's coming from Mississippi State, and that includes the USC Trojans, by the way, yes, I'm talking about the program, y'all wrong for that. Because nothing dirty happened. Nothing dirty happened. It's an unfortunate incident that puts a black, let's keep it a buck, black crowd on the tournament right now. Because we can't see JuJu finish the process for this season. We just can't. And it's very unfortunate. Trust me, I'm surprised I even finished the game because I didn't even want to watch the game after that. And I just knew. I'm like, it was in me. I was like, no, and sure enough, torn ACL. 1:00 in the morning. The news finally broke. Sean Serrani broke it. Like probably from close to like 1:40, close to 2:00 in the morning when he put the official report out there. But it's crazy. Sean Serrani actually putting it out there. He's covering the NBA. He actually put out the college tweet. Good for you. But it just happened, man. And shout out to the Lady Trojans. Y'all stepped up. Y'all stepped up. Y'all didn't let her injury bring you completely down. Matter of fact, you went on to dominate Mississippi State. That point forward. 83-49. Y'all kept it rolling. But yes, it is a dark cloud hanging above the women's tournament now. Because we can't see JuJu. Now we are praying for a full recovery. Some people do the get well, praying for a speedy recovery and stuff. I'm praying for I'm not doing full recovery. I want that recovery to be fully 100% recovered. I ain't worrying about the time limit. I'm not. JuJu, you do a full recovery, okay? I know everybody gonna be planning to see you at some point. That you give me a full recovery, JuJu, because when I want you to come back, I want you to come back on a mission. You're like, all right, look, y'all had a year, maybe a year and a half without me, but I'm back fully healthy and I'm on a mission to tear up college basketball. I want you on a mama mentality mindset that is going to scare the entire women's college basketball era. So give me a full. I ain't worrying about time frame. I ain't worrying about speed. Give me a full recovery. Because you give me a full recovery, JuJu Watkins gonna tear college basketball when she come back. Just give me a full recovery, JuJu. That's all I need is a full recovery. But yes, it does hurt to see her go down and to be done for the season. And most of next season too, because it usually takes a year. It usually takes a year to recover from an ACL injury. We have seen people come back faster. We have. I'd rather for her to come back fully than fast. That's just me. But yes, USC is in the Final Four. Also, the UConn Huskies. Speaking of somebody who has suffered torn ACLs and probably can help JuJu Watkins through the process is Paige Bueckers. The Huskies, what they did at Arkansas State. Look, that's just wrong. That's just wrong. I mean, y'all see the final score, but did y'all see the first half, the first quarter, man? It was 34-5 after one quarter. 34-5 after the first quarter. And then it became 66-16 at halftime. I was like, man, this is an assault. This is manslaughter. This is everything somebody go get that program out of here. Abuse, assault, or whatever you want to call it. This is what UConn did to Arkansas State. It was just destructive. And then they faced the Jackrabbits, and I can say South Dakota State, they didn't feel like Jackrabbits after that game because they had no answers. They did it good in the first quarter, 19-14, and then all of a sudden it was the Paige Bueckers show. 34 points, 4 steals in her final game at Connecticut, inside Connecticut. Not at Connecticut, inside Connecticut, though. At the Pavilion? I forgot what the arena's called. But that was her last game from the Huskies faithful. And she went out with a blast, 34-4. Now, I would love for Paige to, help JuJu in her recovery process because she's been through it. AZ Fudd, too. By the way, speaking of AZ Fudd, she's returning to UConn. So, when next season comes, you'll be seeing 35 again, along with Sarah Strong, who will be in her sophomore year. And who knows who Gino's going to snatch up from high school ranks or maybe in the transfer portal. But yeah, UConn ain't going nowhere no time soon. At least for next year, too. So yeah, we're going to have to continue with UConn again. Just to let you know. Because she's coming back. And it's going to be her team. Paige is going to be drafted in the WNBA, part of the first number 1 overall pick. So next year, UConn team will be led by AZ Fudd. And it sounds like from what she said, it sounds like she's on a mission. She want one more year to hone her craft before she goes to the WNBA, which means she's coming for blood. That's how I take it. She's coming for blood. She missed some years too, and she wants the full throttle of going at people. So yeah, Gino remember ain't going nowhere no time soon. Got to contend with him again for another year. But yes, UConn. So you got the USC Trojans, the top seed in Spokane 4. The 2 seed from Spokane 4, UConn in the Sweet 16. Who's the third team? That third team, that would be the 3-seeded Oklahoma Sooners. Oklahoma, yep, Oklahoma from the SEC. 81-58 over the Florida Gulf Coast, which I did not have as an upset. I know usually when you see Florida Gulf Coast, you need to be on your P's and Q's, but I didn't think Florida Gulf Coast could hang with them, and I was right. Florida Gulf Coast was no match for these Sooners. You know, Beers 25 points, 18 boards. Good gracious, like that. And that was my problem. That's the reason why I said Oklahoma was going to win that game, because you're not going to stop Beers. They can prove it. She almost had a 2020 game, and then they played against Iowa. And they handled business against Iowa, which that's surprising to me whatsoever. Skylar Van, 17.6 boards. I just knew them girls are loaded inside. When they play, when they go to their best players, have fun trying to stop them. And which neither the Eagles of Florida Gulf Coast or the Hawkeyes of Iowa could do. So your 3 seed in Spokane 4 is in the Sweet 16. So your top 3 seeds have all advanced to the Sweet 16 thus far. And then who's the 4th team? Oh, yeah, by the way. Oh, you got the number 1 recruit, Aaliyah Chavez. The number 1 recruit in the women's game is going to Oklahoma. So they're going to be continuing to be a top program in one's estimation for the foreseeable future, for the next at least 3 to 4 years. Oh, you ain't going nowhere. UConn ain't going nowhere. USC ain't going nowhere. But there's one spot left. Who get that spot? That spot went to the 5th seeded Kansas State. That's right, Kansas State. Kansas State is the team that snuck out and are going to Spokane. And how did they do that? Well, you're talking about a nice win over Fairfield, 85-41. And I watched that game. Fairfield was in over their heads, and they knew it. But the game of the tournament thus far was in around 32 when the Wildcats of Kansas State knocked off the Wildcats of Kentucky, 80-79 in Lexington, Kentucky, putting the end to Georgia Amore's collegiate career. And by the way, Kentucky had like 5-6 opportunities to win that game. The offensive rebounds was ridiculous. And they couldn't, mainly Georgia Amore, they could not put the ball in the basket to win the game. Amore had like 3 shots at it. 2 3-pointers. She had a floater, and then one of them dropped. As the buzzer sounded, and Kansas State came out with a 1-point victory. Now, don't get me wrong. Kentucky had control of this game, but Tamara Pondexter, I don't know what happened, but she came locked in. And when she got locked in, it was on 24 points to make sure that her season did not end in Lexington. 24 points. She was 8 from 15 from 3-point range. All her points were from 3. 8 from 15. She was 8 for 17 overall. She had 6 rebounds. I mean, she had 6 blocks too. Like, Pondexter was on. Pondexter, she would not go home. She refused to go home. And it fed the Kansas State Wildcats to get that big win in Lexington over the home team, Kentucky. So your Region 4 Final Four features USC, UConn, Oklahoma, and Kansas State.